Affairs Khadijat Abba Ibrahim has been summoned by the National Assembly Joint Committee on Foreign Affairs to explain what the executive arm of government is doing regarding the attacks.
The federal government will be careful not to exacerbate matters, particularly as they could potentially undermine friendly and fraternal ties with other countries, especially those in Africa.
Chairman of the Joint Committee urged the federal government to be decisive with prompt action in engaging South African government on the matter. Back at the plenary, Senator Barros Jibrin's motion called for urgent steps to address all aviation operational challenges in Nigerian airports.
More often than not, airlines are diverted to smaller neighboring countries with state-of-the-art navigational facilities.
Senator Obinna Ogba's motion, however, dwelt extensively on the deplorable state of the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos.
This once honored stadium and the pride of the nation has become a shadow of itself.
Meanwhile, Justice Walter Onoge has been scheduled for confirmation as Chief Justice of Nigeria at Wednesday's Senate plenary. From the National Assembly, Wazir Zayan, NTA News.
Still at the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill for an act to provide for the enforcement and punishment of crimes against humanity, such as war crimes and genocide. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports.
The imperative of this bill might not be unconnected with Nigeria's experience with insurgency, communal disputes, and related crimes as part of Nigeria's share as a member of global community. Because experience has shown that more often than not, law enforcement and adjudication in many countries, especially developing nations, is always difficult dealing with this class of crimes, as the Rome Statute has to be followed, especially to avoid reprisal by some supposedly aggrieved parties. The bill, sponsored by Representative Nicholas Osai from Delta State, seeks to domesticate certain provisions of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, which Nigeria signed in Rome, Italy in 2000.
We provide the necessary legal framework for providing appropriate criminal sanction to perpetrators of mass crimes.
We lend our voices and support this bill because not only does it answer to our security issues, it answers to our constitutional requirements.
The issue of conflicting figures on local debt owed by the federal government came up on the floor as members urged the federal government to carry out verification of all debt owed contractors by the federal government before payment, as moved by Representative Emmanuel Oke-Jeff from Benue State.
The estimated amount allegedly being owed local contractors may not be real.
The legislators also resolved to investigate the activities and procurement process of Nigerian embassies and high commissions to ensure due process, jointly moved by Representative Rita Oji and Sajos Ogun.
Nigerians in the diaspora are manipulated as those whose passports have expired are kept in detention, and in the process they lose their assets and investments.
The House observed a minute silence in honor of one of its former members, Edward Gamba, from Kaduna State, who died last month. Meanwhile, as budget defense rounds off at the National Assembly, the National Judicial Council has appeared before the House Committee on Federal Judiciary, where the committee commended the federal government for responding to the financial needs of the judiciary.
It's my prayer and hope that this gesture of the federal government will be copied and replicated in 36 states of the Federation.
A total of 100 billion naira has been proposed for the judiciary in the 2017 budget. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has again restated the commitment of the Nigeria Police Force to sustain efforts towards maintaining peace in the West African sub-region. The Inspector General of Police stated this when he received the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Edward Singasi. Timothy Yusuf report.
Nigeria Police Force has been in the forefront in the restoration of peace, law and order in Guinea-Bissau and other countries within the West African sub-region. It is in acknowledgement of this and to seek more that the ECOWAS Vice President Edward Singati visited the Inspector General of Police, where he reiterated that the Commission is not taking the efforts for granted.
And secondly, we came to also pledge and come up with a payment plan to settle the debt that we owe the police officers that served in ECOMIP in Guinea-Bissau.
We are at any point ready to provide men and materials to support peace and security in the ECOWAS sub-region.
The Inspector General of Police later opened a one-day seminar for zonal and command police public relations officers as part of the efforts to reposition the force to deal with new challenges. The IGP enjoined the participants to foster and evolve effective dialogue for better understanding between the public and the police in their various commands.
We as police officers have to conduct ourselves in a positive way because before the people can appreciate us. But it's always important that if we keep quiet and we don't beat our drum, the negative aspects of what some few of us do will subsume the positive.
Speakers at the seminar believed that the crisis of perception confronting the police can only be overcome through effective public relations mechanism.
We continue to support the Nigerian police force because they are our key ally.
With the changing times in which we are now, the dynamism in the global world, new trends are coming into the profession.
With representation from all zonal and state commands of the police, it is expected that the impact of the seminar should be felt immediately. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says an action plan that will engage all actors in the media and entertainment industry in the country is critical in taking advantage of the enormous entertainment potential of collaborating with Morocco. He stated this when he received members of Kannywood in Abuja. Correspondent Musa Abubakar has the report.
The visit was informed by the deed to intimate the minister on the recent visit by members of Kannywood to Morocco and areas of interest which could be beneficial to the media and entertainment industry in Nigeria. The minister, who welcomed the development, identified infrastructure deficit and funds as a major impediment to the media and entertainment industry, explaining that the ministry is working with Copyright Commission and police to address the persistent problem of piracy. Lai Mohammed also revealed plans by the ministry to collaborate with the British Council and other stakeholders on capacity development for media and entertainment practitioners.
And I was quite impressed and excited that Morocco has such a highly developed, call it a more mature media and entertainment industry. But nonetheless, because of our size, because of our market and because of our potentials, they are also very eager to have some form of cooperation with Nigeria.
Leader of the delegation, Mohammed Kabir Mekaba, identified capacity building and well-developed infrastructure as areas Nigeria can benefit if they should partner with Morocco.
We went around all the cinema houses, the equipment centers, the television stations, and everywhere. We were all informed and we have seen what we have not learned from what we are doing here.
In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Still to come, Abuja-Kaduna Highway certified OK as Abuja International Airport closure looms. This and more after this break.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria would have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
should be Mother's Day. Show your mom love in the Peekadoo way. Prepare a special meal with Peak Milk. Peak. Reach for your peak.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation's $100 million entrepreneurship program is empowering Africa's next business leaders. 10,000 entrepreneurs, 54 countries. Become a Tony Elumelu entrepreneur. Apply now.
Hello?
Welcome to the M6 Challenge. Using your new Gioni M6, carry out everything on that list. Starting now. Get to the door. Congratulations, you have passed the test.
Gioni M6 with a 5,000 milliampere battery that lets you go on for 2 days on a single charge. Gioni M6, always in power.
Your feet are stomping and the gym is pumping. Look at the crowd is jumping. Pump up your jam and push up your hand. You know, say me fans them plenty like sun. Jump up and dance, make them understand. Say me energy could have never be contraband. No matter what life throws at me, I can handle it constantly. All of my fans them invited. DJ, make my day.
Make my day. Make my day. Make my day.
Whenever pain occurs, you want quick relief. Try new Nurofen Express. It goes to the source of pain and gets to work in under 15 minutes. That's why Nurofen Express delivers fast and effective relief. New Nurofen Express works at the source of pain. Fast.
Being a mom is great, but when your child has a fever, you don't know what to do. I trust Nurofen for Children to take care of my child's pain and fever.
Effective relief you can trust.
The Future Assured project and its components, Get Involved, initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition, especially in the Northeast, has indeed informed international recognition, partnerships, and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have accorded to us.
With Future Assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Following the approval of the whistleblowers policy by the Federal Executive Council and its launch by the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, patriotic Nigerians have been making inquiries on how and where they could deliver information that could lead to the stopping or uncovering of fraud to the appropriate authority and answers to frequently asked questions. The Federal Minister of Finance has therefore dedicated a telephone line for receiving SMS, a whistleblowers portal, and an email address through which members of the public who volunteer to disclose information about a possible misconduct or violation could deliver such information for the attention of the team dedicated to process such information.
The recurring cases of xenophobic attacks on Nigerians abroad, particularly in South Africa, is the focus on Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, informative, educative, and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
Thank you for remaining with NTA Network News. The federal government has restated its commitment to providing good roads and other critical infrastructure for socio-economic and political development of the country. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, stated this while inaugurating the just completed repair work on the Abuja-Kaduna Highway. Works and Housing correspondent Muhammad Hamza Sheikh reports.
With a total length of 165 kilometers, the Abuja-Kaduna emergency repair work was necessitated by the proposed maintenance works on the runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, during which the Kaduna Airport is designated to serve as an alternative. Awarded at the cost of 1.058 billion naira, the work included the patching of notorious potholes, reinstatement of failed pavement sections, strengthening of existing surface, and resurfacing with asphaltic concrete overlay. The minister, represented by the Director Highways in the ministry, Yemi Oguntomini, said the timely completion of the repair work will now guarantee safety, reduce travel time, and enhance socio-economic development.
This particular emergency carried out on this portion, this segment of the road, this Abuja to Kaduna portion, is a segment within the one that starts from Abuja to Kano. And then what we've done here, because of the closure of the airport, the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja, that's what made us to carry out this palliative measure.
The emergency repair work, which generated a number of job opportunities for both skilled and unskilled workers, is prior to an extensive and comprehensive rehabilitation to be carried out soon on the road. Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
Still on the transportation sector, the Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has assured airline operators in Nigeria that the Kaduna Airport is secured for standard facilities and in a better position to facilitate passenger movement. He gave this assurance when he paid a courtesy visit to the ambassador in Nigeria, Hakan Shikal, in Abuja. The minister said that the use of Kaduna Airport will be for only 6 weeks, starting from the 8th of March, to enable the Nigeria rehabilitate the runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Hadi Sirika reiterated the position of the federal government to count on all airline operators that will understand with the nation in this time of need, and assured them of the government's openness and preparedness to work with all serious-minded and sincere operators. The minister welcomed the interest of the Turkish government and Turkish companies in Nigeria's aviation industry and assured them of the federal government's resolve to strengthen the partnership. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the National Population Commission, and the National Assembly have been urged to adhere to the constitutional provisions that will ensure proper representation of Nigerians through their constituencies. These are the views of legal and constitutional experts at a roundtable held in Abuja on constituency delimitation. Femi Okewo has the report.
Sections 73 and 74 of the 1999 Constitution directs the nation's electoral body to review the division of states into senatorial districts and federal constituencies at intervals not less than 10 years. Delimitation of electoral constituencies makes it logistically easier to conduct elections and allows the country to cater for population growth and geographical dynamics. But experts at a roundtable held in Abuja warned that Nigeria has not been faithful to the intent and cause of delimitation, thereby denying a great number of citizens fair representation in governance.
The non-resolution of these discrepancies through a delimitation of constituency review has led to court actions after general elections.
The Constitution says use the latest. But from 2007, all the elections we have had did not comply with this requirement, because in 2006 we had a new state source because
organizers say that the recommendations of the roundtable will be passed to the bodies saddled with the constitutional responsibilities as a guide.
The motive is to put this into the public domain. Happily, INEC seem to have taken a hint and they are already setting up committees. But I think it should go beyond just setting up committees.
Once a national census is held, there are quite a number of other events that must precede a general election. delimitation is just one of them. It will therefore mean that the agenda for Nigeria is quite loaded preceding the 2019 general elections. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, has emphasized the need for well-meaning Nigerians and other non-governmental organizations to continue to show commitment towards supporting the less privileged persons and other groups, especially women and children. This is in a message at the foundation laying ceremony of the orphanage tagged Aisha Buhari Foundation Orphanage and School. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports.
Available records show that about 42,000 orphans out of over 1 million displaced persons are currently taking refuge at various internally displaced persons camps. These victims of insurgency required basic necessities of life such as food, education, clean drinking water, medical services, as well as security and shelter. The foundation laying ceremony of the Aisha Buhari Foundation Orphanage and School by the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Usman Maman Durkwa, who stood in for the Governor Kashim Shatima, is a bold step towards that direction, which is the idea of the wife of the president. The project, when completed, will cater for about 2,000 youth, women and children, and will have the facilities such as 12 classrooms of nursery and primary schools, 24 classrooms of secondary school section, boys and girls hostels, ICT centers and laboratories, staff quarters, multi-purpose hall, skills acquisition center, as well as health facility. The senior special assistant to the wife of the president, Dr. Hajosani, represented the wife of the president.
Her Excellency is really passionate. She's about humanity. She was here personally in one of the largest camps in Dalori, and she has seen the situation of the children and women. So for her, there's always a starting point. In her own case, she decided to start here in Bonu, knowing the magnitude of the problem. This very facility, I know, is going to be a big relief, and it's also going to be a challenge to other well-meaning Nigerians, as well as philanthropists, both at national and international level, to come.
As part of their continuous support, the Borno State government provided the land strategically located for that purpose. It is directly opposite to the 2,000-unit housing estate, which is under construction for the victims by a philanthropist, and it is also a trackable distance to Dalori IDP camp, catering for over 25,000 internally displaced persons.
This will complement the effort of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno, and also we are looking for more so that it will be less burden on both Her Excellency, the First Lady, and burden of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno. This one we believe Her First Lady want to do it to tell the public-spirited individual that this is where to help humanity.
The children expressed their happiness for this kind gesture. In Maiduguri, Borno State capital, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
Co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, French Gates, was recently the guest of the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammad Buhari. The visit is part of efforts to promote health and economic status of women and children in Nigeria.
Let me at this point affirm my commitment to continue to advocate and mobilize resources to improve the lives of women and children in Nigeria. I thank you for the interest you are showing in my Future Assured program.
The full package of the visit and other activities of the wife of the president will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight on the network service of the NTA. All NTA stations are advised to remain with the network service. There is yet growing concern over drug abuse among youths in the country, especially in some states in the northern part of Nigeria. Rehabilitation and how to stop the menace is the thrust of discussions at the Northern Governors' Wives Forum held in Abuja. Laure Bala Hassan was there and now reports.
The theme for the forum is Say No to Drug Abuse. It is part of supporting their spouses, particularly on issues affecting women, children, the girl child, and other negative vices in the society. Wife of Zamfara State Governor and the chairperson of the forum said measures are being put in place to curb the menace by raising awareness and providing testing centers.
People just tend to pretend that this is not a problem. So we felt this is a good opportunity to lend our voices as wives of governors, as leaders in our various states, to come out and fight this, and it's a very good cause.
Some of the governor's wives agree that inadequate educational exposure, peer pressure, and absence of certain family values are factors that drive some people to drugs.
We are ignorant about it, but I'm so happy that this time around we all decided collectively to look into the future of our children.
As mothers, as role models, as leaders in our society, we should lend our strong voice in fighting drug addiction.
This is one thing that we must tackle if we're going to get to the bottom of it, is the regulation, the patent medicine stores. That is where it comes from.
At the end of their deliberations, they resolved to partner organizations that will foster realization of the project at the national and state levels. In Abuja, Laure Bala Hassan, NTA News.
NTA's news sports programs to thrill Nigerians. Details with Ademola Adeoye in Lagos. But first, Demola, tell us about ASCON's Young African Initiative.
Kudu, thank you. I have the story here. Good evening and warm welcome to Lagos. Inculcating the required leadership skills in young people has been identified as the panacea to solving the myriad of problems confronting the continent of Africa. This was the submission of speakers at the inauguration of the second cohort of the Young African Leaders Initiative, YALI, organized by the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, in collaboration with the YALI Regional Leadership Center, West Africa, held in Topo Badagry, Lagos. Tunde Saiki has the detail.
The 104 participants are from Nigeria, Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire. Others are from the Gambia, Liberia, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, and Togo. In the next 5 weeks, ASCON is expected to train them in the areas of ethics, leadership, entrepreneurship, and networking.
We need to employ young people who have ideas about technology and all of that to make sure that they apply the technology to health issues that can help our people to live.
Anybody that sets his heart to change things will find a way to do so. Because it's not a time for people to wait for somebody to do it. We must make the decision that we are the change that the country needs.
They should not do the things the usual way, that look, this is how we do it. But what are the changes within the environment? What are the changes in the world at large?
Some of the participants promised to utilize the knowledge the cohort will provide.
After YALI, I'll go and contribute my quota and charge them to do something for themselves as entrepreneurs.
We realize that Africa is a continent with so many vast potentials, but in spite of that, we still have so many challenges.
My expectations for the YALI program here is to enter to learn and go out to serve the Gambian people out there.
A pre-inaugural dinner was earlier held for participants. Some of the youths used the platform to display their talents to the admiration of the guests. At the end of this training, 1,000 out of the expected 4,000 beneficiaries would have graduated from the Young African Leadership Initiative sponsored by the USAID for the African youths. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority is set to take its rightful place in broadcast sports in the country with the coming of a live TV sports show tagged Sports Parliament. The 1-hour program, which is set to make its debut on Thursday at 11 p.m. on the network service of the NTA, has great sports icons as panelists. The Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, met with the originators of the show today in Lagos. Lil Lenike has the details.
Receiving members of the Sports Parliament in Lagos alongside the management of the Lagos Network Center, the Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, described the sports show tagged Sports Parliament, capable of addressing the challenges militating against sports development in the country. He expressed delight at the caliber of eminent persons in the Sports Parliament TV show, adding that the show will set the standards in sports broadcasting given the reach the NTA provides.
This is part of the efforts now being made, to restore NTA to its position of eminence in sports television in this country. And while doing that, we had to think of people who are capable of restoring that lost glory. And if you're talking sports, football in particular in Nigeria, and sports generally, they cannot come bigger than Chief Segun Odegbami, who is going to be the anchor of the program.
The NTA has a social responsibility to see that anything and everything that is Nigerian becomes an excellent idea, becomes an excellent event, becomes excellence in all its ramifications.
Leader of the delegation and Speaker of the Sports Parliament, Segun Odegbami, appreciated the Director General of NTA for providing a platform where sports policies can be influenced and also the power of sports can be used to empower youths.
A program such as this, on a medium that belongs to the stakeholders, particularly government as numero uno, should attract attention of even government. And when you assemble the creme of technocrats in different sectors of sports to come every week and discuss, debate, and interrogate issues in sports.
It's time to actually influence what kind of agenda that is set for sport, so that sport goes from being just participatory to being something that lifts the nation and creates wealth for both its practitioners and its investors.
The Director General NTA, alongside members of the Sports Parliament, inspected the studio set for the program. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. It's now time for us to take another break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
Break free with EasyClick and get the freedom to choose your bonus. Choose 350% bonus to call your peeps on a T-Select, or 250% bonus to call other networks, or get 100% data bonus to connect you to the world. Also enjoy unlimited access to digital content. Dial *545# to choose your preferred EasyClick bonus. EasyClick, freedom to choose.
The Debt Management Office, DMO, on behalf of the Federal Government of Nigeria, is offering the general public an opportunity to invest and contribute to national development through the Federal Government of Nigeria's Savings Bond. Investment in the FGN Savings Bond will lead to poverty reduction and create employment opportunities. FGN Savings Bond have attractive features: guaranteed fixed income, quarterly interest payment, use of investment as collateral for loans, can be sold at the secondary market, good for savings towards school fees, marriage and house projects. Please visit www.dmo.gov.ng, your stockbroker or financial advisor. FGN Savings Bond for National Development. This message is from the Debt Management Office.
You're on to NTA Network News, coming to you live from our Abuja Network studios. Newly established Development Bank of Nigeria set to commence operations as foreign development banks pump in $1.3 billion. Vivian Idekbefo has details of these and more on Business News.
Good evening and welcome to the Business News segment. We begin with cheerful news for the micro, small and medium enterprises as the Development Bank of Nigeria is set to take off. The Federal Ministry of Finance in a statement confirmed the completion of key recruitments and the formal application for the issuance of its operational license from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The operations of DBN, it will not in any way result in the elimination of other banks or any other development institution for that matter, as it is distinctly focused on supporting small businesses defined by size and not by sector. The bank will kickstart with $1.3 billion. The Nigerian equities market ends the month of February on a negative note, shedding 0.17%. Here is a summary of Tuesday's closing figures on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. On that note, we conclude business news segment for this hour. Now to the rest of the bulletin.
The Nigerian Air Force says it has adapted its L-39ZA trainer aircraft for combat role. The decision, according to the Director of Public Relations, Group Captain Ayodele Famuyiwa, is informed by the need to commit more platforms to various internal security operations. The Air Force employed the aircraft solely for basic flying training, capable of undertaking light ground attacks. The firing display footage was conducted at the Nigeria Air Force Air Range in Kwenef, Makudi, Benue State. Up ahead, global tidbits, some sports news, and a look at weather prospects for Wednesday. Don't go away.
Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Tries to light the fires, he has done too. Emenike on a wingy!
Africa's largest television network, the NTA, sets the agenda for Nigeria sports with a new program, The Sports Parliament, a weekly night of conversation by experts on some of the most critical issues in Nigeria sport, examined through national and international lenses. Sports Parliament is an assembly of some of the best brains in sports, taking on issues as never before. Members of Parliament include Osasu Obayuwana, lawyer and journalist, Mumini Alao, analyst, Godwin Dudu Orumen, lawyer and administrator, Nkechi Obi, marketer and analyst, Kunle Raji, consultant, Adetunji Adeyinka, private sector expert, Anyefiok Udo Obong, Olympic gold medalist, Shola Akinwale, former international player, Abdurrahman Ibu Mohammed, journalist and sports commentator, Tanko Yunusa Abdullahi, journalist, Aki Amawo, medical consultant, the speaker, former international player, author, sports writer and consultant, Shegu Odewami, live from the NTA studios in Lagos every Thursday night from 11 o'clock. The Sports Parliament, taking the conversation on sports to a new level, coming soon to your screens.
Played out wide by Babatunde. Two in the middle. Oh, they've got an equaliser!
Chimdima Nduwisi is here with the global tidbits.
Somalia's President Mohamed Abdullahi says the devastating drought in the country is a national disaster, going by the United Nations statistics, which shows that more than half of the population, numbering over 6.2 million, are in dire need of help. Also, more than 300,000 children are malnourished and need quick nutritional aid. The president is therefore appealing for emergency intervention. And the United Nations, in its latest report, indicts Libya as a child migrant abuse hub. 26,000 children, most of them unaccompanied, crossed the Mediterranean Sea last year. Lack of food, water and medical care in Libya's detention center is another source of concern. In South Africa, the official brought in to clean up corruption and waste at the Railways Authority has been sacked for granting himself a 350% pay rise. On Kim Jong-nam's death, Malaysian prosecutors say the two women suspected to be involved in the killing of North Korea's leader's half-brother are to be charged with murder on Wednesday. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
And Dende Sunny has the sports update.
The president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has been mandated by the board of the federation